Welcome back to Preservation Travels with Lane and Kevin here at our Restoration Nation. Today, we're in historic Vicksburg, Mississippi. Welcome back to Preservation Travels. Today we're in historic Vicksburg, Mississippi. This is one of the most important cities in the American Civil War. It was the siege of Vicksburg and the eventual conquering thereof that really turned the tides of the war for the North. Cutting off Vicksburg cut off the South from its supply line. So because of this city and the battle that the North won here, the North won the American Civil War. So an incredibly important city. And we're in an incredibly beautiful house, the Baer house, built around 1870 by a Jewish American family. And it's full of treasures for us to share with you today. And of course, we're starting in one of my favorite places in any of these homes, the entrance hall. And I have so many things to show you that are special about this place. We're going to start with a wheel cut glass over the front door. You'll notice it's wheel cut and etched glass. Absolutely spectacular into the period. But there's something special about this glass, a little bit of a hidden message. What appears to be a cornucopia is actually a menorah, signifying the Jewish family that built this home and lived here for the first 50 years of its existence. Look at the floors I'm standing on. Now these floors run continuously out onto the front stoop. So as you come up to the house, you notice the differentiation in color. These floors are black walnut and American chestnut. American chestnut being a wood that's really not used in construction anymore. So the floors are almost priceless, but let's take a look at some of the other incredible architectural details that you find in this entryway. This home is East-like in design, which is one of my favorite periods and one of my favorite designs. You're going to see the East-like elements throughout the house, but particularly in this entryway, we're making a real style statement here. You'll see the entablatures and architraves are all incised and spoon carved in that high East-like style, defined by its very geometric patterns. Across the bishop's board, all around the entryway, and then up the staircase, we have this gorgeous quatrefoil design. I haven't seen this very often. It's very unique. All of the hinges on these doors are the original East-like design hinges. But really, in my opinion, the showpiece of this front hall is the newel post. You can ask Kevin. I am a newel post fanatic. If it were practical in any way, I would be a newel post collector, but it's not practical, so I don't do that. I do have a few extras. I don't know what we're going to do with them. And if I had the chance to acquire one like this, it would be done in an instant. Look at the magnificence. We have this chamfered edge, an incised carving, which in the complete East-like design, you have the starburst, very emblematic of East-like, and then this gorgeous burl veneer in the center here. All the way around you have these details. So viewed from any angle, this is an absolutely spectacular piece. This obviously not original. There would have been a newel post lamp here that would have been run by gas, and the fittings are still inside the newel post, but that disappeared with the second family, the Williams family. They had a number of children, and one of those children was responsible for the demise of the newel post lamp. So let's go into what was originally a ballroom and take a look around.
Hey friends, if you already have your Factor meal service, then you can skip this part. But if you haven't ordered yours yet, you have to watch, because this is the best food delivery service out there. I tell you what, after this weekend, I'm gonna go on a diet, but I'm not worried because I've got Factor meals and they are dietitian approved.
Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal delivery service, can help you eat well for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Their team of gourmet chefs create each meal using only ingredients with integrity to help you feel your best all day long. Factor meals arrive pre-prepared and ready to eat in 2 minutes, which is perfect for busy lifestyles like ours.
Factor gives you options that make it easy for you to stick to your goals.
With over 35 meals to choose from per week, including options like keto, calorie smart, vegan and veggie, and more, plus over 55 weekly add-ons. Factor has everything I need for a week of flavorful, nutritious eats.
I've told you how delicious and tender the proteins are with Factor. But what you also need to know is that the sides are a premium: broccoli, broccolini, and they perfectly complement your proteins. So go to factor75.com or click the link below and use code RESTORATION50 to get 50% off your first Factor box and free wellness shots for life. That's 2 free wellness shots from 3 available flavors for every order while you are an active subscriber. That's factor75.com or click the link below and use code RESTORATION50 to get 50% off your first Factor box.
Now this is a magnificent space. You can't deny that. It's an enormous space, but it's smaller than it once was. When this home was built, this was built as a ballroom. Behind me, you see 3 chandeliers. Originally, this was the length that would have 5 chandeliers. So a huge space for entertaining. Some of the other elements in this room that I absolutely love are the original arch over the bay window with its original plaster detail. I would love to see this plaster have all of its coats of paint removed so you really could see the depth and dimension of that gorgeous plaster work. Here we are in what is now being used as a game room, but was probably originally an informal parlor. It has an incredibly special element, and I had to show you. Now, this is a beautiful East Lake style mantle anyway, and it appears to be marble. You might guess that it's a slate mantelpiece, faux marbed to look like marble. You'd be wrong. This is a scagliola fireplace. And the reason I wanted to show you this is because we also have scagliola in Auburn. It became a very popular material in the mid-19th century. So it was originally developed as a poor man's marble. If a civic building wanted to have a huge marble column but didn't want to spend the money on marble, they would use scagliola. If I broke this in half, you would see that basically this is a concrete that's polished and dyed and faux painted. We have 3 of them in Auburn, and we have 2 of them here in the Baer house. This one is painted to look like a slate or a dark marble, but this is scagliola. Now, why is it in this incredibly expensive home if it was a poor man's marble? Well, because like many new developments, it was developed to be a less expensive alternative to marble that became popular, so got very expensive. I compare it to modern quartzite countertops. Started out as a less expensive alternative to real stone and then got wildly expensive because it was so incredibly popular. Same thing with scagliola. So it becomes a status symbol to be able to afford these, to put these in your home. So here in the Baer house, we have not one, but 2 scagliola fireplaces. I had to show you this glorious overmantle. There's one here in the upper hall and its sister is downstairs in the front hall. This is not where these belong. These are overmantle mirrors and they are original to the house. Now, I suspect, though it's not confirmed and we don't know, that these are the overmantle mirrors that would have been in the ballroom. A mirror like this, of this size, of this proportion, would have been utilized to reflect light around a space. And if you have a space of that magnitude, of that proportion, that is the perfect place for those to go. They also could have been in the ladies' parlor and the gentleman's parlor, who knows? But these are original to the home and they would have been over mantelpieces in major rooms to show off to your friends when they came. Wouldn't have been upstairs in this family room space. And as I mentioned, the ballroom mantelpieces are gone. Now the overmantles are made from doors that are original to the house. But sometime in the 1970s, when an architect lived here who was building himself a new home, those original mantles mysteriously disappeared and they're not here anymore. And I bet I know where they are today. This upstairs hallway is an absolute thing of beauty, almost as beautiful as the downstairs hallway. We have gorgeous plaster cornice work, which the owners still have the original mold to, so should you lose some, you can always put it back. Stunning plaster florets around the chandeliers, beautiful bishop's board wainscoting, and then we have this. I think I would buy the house for this built-in wardrobe, chiffonnier, whatever you want to call it. It is a work of art. Again, detailed throughout with East-like styling, and it's been very cleverly used for the modern day. Obviously, we aren't going to keep our clothes in this today. We don't need this for clothes storage like they would have in 1870. Now the center portion has been used to disguise the air return for the central heat and air. So a magnificent use of part of this, the rest of it for storage. What an amazing piece. Now this home is currently functioning as a bed and breakfast. So we're in one of the bedrooms and we're going to show all of them to you. They're absolutely exquisite. But this one is my favorite. And you're going to wonder why, because it's not one of the grander bedrooms, but it's this mantelpiece. Now this is a slate mantelpiece that has a faux marble technique applied to it. Again, gorgeous Eastlake detailing, just typical Eastlake themes. You can't get more period than this. I love this. This is a panel of glass that's open to the flue. So originally when those coals were burning and you had the glow over the fire, you would have seen it through this glass panel. An amazing element that I don't know that I've seen before. But let me show you this. This little piece slips out and there are signatures, Edward Buckles and a Mr. Williams. It doesn't say Mr. Williams. I don't know his first name, but the last name Williams is there. So the second owners were the Williams family. Mr. Williams, the father, was extraordinarily strict with his children, and his little son, this was his bedroom, and this was his secret. He could pull this out. His cousin, Edward Buckles, signed it. He signed it. This was his secret, kept it a secret from Dad all the time the family lived here. For 50 years, the family lived here. When Mr. Williams was 92 years old, he came back to visit the house, to visit the current owners, and he said, "Did you find my secret place? Did you find it?" He pulled it out and showed her, and he was still giddy at 92 years old that his incredibly strict father never knew about the secret destruction he'd wrought on the Baer house. Well, there are a number of amazing, unique, one-of-a-kind features here at the Baer house, but this one is just fun, and we had to show you. The Baer house has its original outhouse. This is a two-seater. This is actually smaller than this one was originally, and there's another two-seater below us. This was a four-seat, basically indoor bathroom when the home was built. The height of convenience. You could come out here without getting wet. How thrilling. Let me show you this. Now, I know you're going to guess what this is, but you're going to guess wrong. It's not a mid-19th century urinal. It's not. What it is, this would hold lime. And as the outhouse was used, you could dump your lime down into the hole to keep it from smelling quite so ripe in here, especially in the summer months. So more ease and convenience. And this one is original to the Baer home. One of the things I love about the Victorian era and all of the styles of homes that fall within that period is the level of ornament that you get with these homes. But the Eastlake style home is by far one of the most heavily ornamented in every space the eye might fall. And I have to show you the soffits and fascia on this home. Even these are incised carved with Eastlake designs. Absolutely magnificent attention to detail in every corner of this space. Now I'm on the back gallery, which is always one of our favorite spaces in any of these homes. You know, we talk about the galleries all the time, but what makes this one even more special is that you can look across the street. We're literally 1 block away from the Vicksburg Courthouse Museum. It is a must-see if you come here to Vicksburg. You cannot miss the history that's held inside that courthouse. We hope you've enjoyed your time at the Baer house with us and our time in Vicksburg, Mississippi. This home is currently a functioning and very successful bed and breakfast, and it is also for sale. Now, should you not want to be a business owner, it's certainly affordable as a single family residence. But we want to remind you, we are not the realtors. We don't know anything else about this house other than what we've shown you today. We don't represent it and we don't guarantee it in any way. If you want any more information about the property, its sales price, or any information, you're going to need to click the Zillow link in the description below. Thank you for joining us on Preservation Travels with Lane and Kevin here at our Restoration Nation. Make sure you give us a thumbs up. That helps us amazingly. Share this video with a friend if they love historic architecture as well. Subscribe to our channel and we'll see you next time.